Hi, my name is Kim Reinhart. I'm a wife. My husband and I have been married for 15 years. I'm a mother of two boys. They're 13 and 9, and I'm a teacher at a grade school. Life was a little bit ugly. It was ugly in my marriage. It was ugly me as a mama. I'm sure it probably wasn't lovely me as a teacher, but it was really ugly inside of me. And I didn't really realize how ugly it was or how bad it seemed to have gotten. And so it was so much so as I started to feel like I had insomnia and I couldn't sleep. And so I woke up tired and I was tired all day. And so therefore I was frustrated and I was irritable, and anxiety has always been a thing that I've dealt with. So then my anxiety was even worse. And so after a while of that, I always thought everything was everybody else's fault. If only seemed to be the thing I kept playing in my mind. If only my marriage were better. If only my kids would whatever. If only my job was less stressful. If only I could sleep at night. And so really what it equated to was really me. And so that is where I had met Joni. I had kind of followed her with some things on Facebook, and so when I finally got in touch with Joni, that's when things seemed to started to turn. It was a pivotal point in my life when really the things that I thought were the problem weren't really the problem. They were kind of the secondary effect of what was really wrong. And so once I got in touch with Joni, I finally started to figure out how to help everything. And it all started with me. But prior to that, I was figuring, I was trying to figure out, sometimes you start to feel like you need to avoid, how can I get out of this? But whenever I started talking with Joni, I realized it was a me thing. I needed to start with me. And she gave me the starting ground of how to figure out how to help me. What made me decide to work with Joni was I had reached a point to where something had to change. I knew something had to change. And at the time, it was still everybody else needed to change. Even though I had good friends that came along beside me, Christian friends, and they, had mentioned, take a look at you first. And even though I was taking a look at me, I was still not seeing it. And so when Joni, I had reached out to Joni in questions of different things, and then Joni had, brought up potential coaching. And so I knew, I didn't even think about it. I knew then that this could be something. It could be a breakthrough. I had nothing to lose. I had to try something. And so it was then that I decided that I'd had enough of living and feeling the way that I had. And it was a chance that I was willing to take. And I am so thankful that I took the chance. I am more calm. I am more okay with the things that I have struggled with. My marriage, wow. My marriage is night and day different. I'm not sure that there are words that I can use to describe other than it was ugly. And it was ugly partially because when something is so hard for so long, you just start to feel like it's easier to put no energy and effort into it. That has changed completely. And it's so much so that I look forward to doing things with my husband, and I look forward to kind of like when we dated. That's kind of where I'm at. I look forward to things now like I did when he and I dated. And in between that and not so long ago, Uh, I didn't feel like that at all. And so that's been one of the big hurdles, one of the big things that has changed. Um, I have more patience. I have more patience for my kids. I have more patience in my job. I have more patience in life itself. I have more patience with me. I'm calmer as a person. I get frustrated still. I mean, I think that's just part of who we are. But it's not, I wake up with frustration and irritation and I have it all day long and I go to bed. I'm just more at peace with myself. And some of the things that that Joni and I talked through were things that I had no idea I needed to unravel. And a lot of them were emotions that I didn't even know that were emotions that needed to be dealt with, even as far back as when I was a child. So by dealing with a lot of that stuff, it has freed me to put me on the other side now, to feel better as a person, to accept myself in ways that I probably didn't accept myself as, such as the way that I looked and how I felt and all of the things that I thought I needed to be. My heavens, I think as a mom and as a woman, we get so caught up in the ideal. What does ideal mean anyway, right? Everybody has their own perspective. But it has freed me from feeling like I need to look like this and I need to talk like this and I need to act like this and I need to have just all of that stuff I think that we as women struggle with. And so because of all of these things that it has set me free from, it has opened up a new life for me personally, as a mom, as a wife, as a teacher, and even as a Christian. I feel, I feel more like I have time to set aside to spend with God. So whether it's quiet time, whether it's my devotions, whatever it means, because prior to that, I was just running on fumes, and my to-do list was never ending, and it was frustrating. And so anyway, it has set me free in a lot of different ways in life, and but it all started with me. And I feel like I have spent so much money lately with trying to get the kids back in school and with the house. And so I don't know if you recall or not, but money was one of those things that I struggled with just mentally. And so the other day I thought, even though spending all this money, I don't really care for it, but I'm okay with it. And there was a time I had so much anxiety, I could just feel it just creeping to the very top of my head. That would make me so frustrated because I just felt like I was going to run out of money. Yeah. And it's not like that anymore. It is the craziest thing. If you happen to be sitting on the fence about, should I work with Joni in coaching, or should I reach out to Joni to see if she'd be interested in coaching me? If you are sitting on the fence with those thoughts, or if you are sitting there thinking there is no way out, I feel like I'm in a black hole, I can never get out, I am telling you, reach out to Joni. Even when Joni was helping me, I was thinking at the time, I have no idea how this is going to help me, but I'll do it. I'll do it because I trust Joni, because I need to find a way out. And just do it. Reach out to her, because even when it feels like you don't know how this is going to get any better, even when it feels like you don't know how your conversation with Joni is going to help anything, I am telling you, it works. And if it's as simple as that, man, why not? Because my conversations with Joni started the turning point in my life that I so desperately needed. And so I just encourage you, if you are sitting there and if you are struggling with your marriage, or if you are struggling with, money, with your kids, with anything, with your job, reach out to Joni, because the conversations with her can be life-changing. They were for me.